Hi guys, it's Aaliyah with Open Doors, Open Hearts blog, and today I am so excited to share with you this really fun, simple, thrifty mother-daughter picnic that the girls and I put together recently. So many of you know that we just got home with our daughter who we adopted from Korea, and so life looks very different than it used to. Our summer is not the same this year as it was last year. And with all of the changes and all of the transitions and there's just a lot going on. My husband and I realized that our big girls really needed a little extra special attention. So I decided that a fun way to give them some of that extra attention would be to do a backyard picnic like we did last year. Just be a fun way to kind of show them that while a lot of things are changing, there are some things that are just going to stay the same. This picnic was a really fun one for me because it was the first time that I have given the girls this much autonomy over what the picnic table was going to look like. Like, they've seen so many of the picnic table settings that I've done, or even just the table settings that I've done up in the dining room. But this is the first time that I basically let them go. Now, I will be honest, I struggled with that in the beginning. They did not choose copper, and copper is like my go-to. It's one of my favorite materials to put on a table. I just feel like it adds a whole lot of mood and like some drama. I really like copper. It's my favorite. But what the girls were picking, the copper just didn't look very good, and so I realized pretty early on, I just needed to step back, take all of my copper. We put everything out on this table here and just kind of saw what it looked like, and I realized everything that they were picking, the copper just did not work with. So I took all the copper out and we just worked with what the girls had, and they did such a good job. I really am proud of them with the way that they did the color scheme and just picking the different materials for this particular picnic. I thought that they did a really good job. Now, that said, I did guide them a little bit, and I did try to help, oh, maybe we should put this here, and what if we did that there? And for instance, I love big buckets full of flowers, just overflowing, huge, too big, extravagant buckets full of flowers. And so my oldest picked up one of those buckets and was like, "Mom, we can fill this with flowers." But I knew that we did not have that many flowers blooming right now. So I, kind of encouraged her, what if we just grabbed a couple vases? These ones are pretty big. Knowing we had enough flowers for those vases, though we didn't have enough for the bucket. So there was a little bit of that, but for the most part, they really led the charge on this picnic, and it really is so special to me because they were such a big part of it, and it's the first time that they've been that big of a role in one of our picnics. So I already kind of touched on this a little bit. The number one thing that I did for this particular picnic to make it a mother-daughter picnic that the girls were gonna really love and that they were gonna want to be there with me was I got them involved. I had them, like I said, we wandered around the house picking out different decorations and vases and just different pieces that we were going to set on the table for this particular picnic. And honestly, I think that right there was one of the biggest reasons why this picnic was what it was for us, why it was so special, because they felt ownership in the picnic. They put it together. I mean, they were, like I said, we had everything here on this table, and the girls were grabbing all the things and running all the way out into the yard. It was like glass, and I was like, wait a minute, stop, don't run, but they were just so excited. And they've helped me before set up, but it's been more like they helped me set up. They didn't help pick all of the things like they did this particular time. And so I think that was key to this picnic feeling more special. So the next thing that I did was right along lines with the first thing, where I gave the girls autonomy for setting up the picnic. I gave the girls the choice, like, what do you want mommy to make to put out on the picnic table that we can enjoy together out here for this special occasion? And they picked rhubarb pie and blueberries, which was so easy, so I certainly wasn't going to complain about it. But it I guess was more like a little refreshment picnic than it was a real full-on meal. But again, that's what they wanted for this picnic, and so that's what I did. So number 3 was allowing the girls to help me pick the flowers. And this is something that they have done with me from the very first backyard boho picnic that we had back, 2 years ago, I think is when we started these. They have always helped me pick flowers. We'll just wander around the yard, or we have really sweet neighbors and they'll let us come wander around their yard. Obviously we don't go into like flower beds, but you know, anything wildflowers that are kind of growing or big shrubs, they'll let us clip some things. So the girls have always helped me with that part, and so that was really fun. Again, at this time of year right now, we don't have a bunch of flowers blooming, and go figure, that would be when I decide to do this picnic, is after all of our beautiful spring flowers are done, all the peonies and the lilacs and everything's gone. But the thing is the girls didn't even care. They were just really excited about, oh mom, so what flowers are we going to use? You say we don't have a whole bunch blooming right now. What are we going to do? And so I showed them what was blooming, and we picked the different flowers that we wanted, and then we added in a little bit of faux flowers that I have back in the decoration room that I have, and they thought it was amazing, even though it, you know, I could look at it in my adult eyes and be like, oh, like we could have peonies but we don't, or lilac, you know, like they were not in the slightest bit disappointed. They were so excited. So the last thing that I did to try to make sure that this mother-daughter picnic was a success in their eyes, and that the girls felt overjoyed and just so loved, was I went and I pulled out some special dishes and brought those to the picnic table. So the first thing that I brought out was my great-grandmother's glasses. I think they're depression glass, but the girls love them, and they know that we only use them for special occasions. One time we had root beer floats in them. They had orange cream soda in them one time. Just when we're doing something a little extra special, those are the cups that we like to use. And so that was fun to add those to this particular picnic. And then the other thing that I added were the plates. These plates I just found at a thrift store. I think they were 50 cents a piece. And you know, these little plates, they just break all the time. So this was super easy to replace them. They're not the same, they don't look the same as our other plates, but the girls actually like them more. In some ways it's kind of annoying because they fight about it. But when I pulled out that stack of those plates, and I was showing them specifically, like we are going to use your favorite plates for this mother-daughter picnic. They just loved it. They were over the moon about it. I think at the end of the day, a mother-daughter picnic, the main point of the picnic is to shower love on the people that you're with. And so I think that means that, you know, this picnic took way longer to set up than any other picnic that I have set up in the past. Having little helpers is often, it slows you down, you know, but I think it creates memories and it makes things a little special. I think it's just worth it for something like this to take that extra time and spend it pouring it into them, because the mother-daughter picnic became more than just a picnic. It was an entire day event of wandering around the house and picking the flowers and taking everything out to the picnic table and then enjoying the rhubarb pie at the picnic table, not to mention helping me make rhubarb pie. Like, it was an entire event where the girls were able to feel loved, remember that even though everything is changing, mommy and daddy still love you, mommy and daddy still value you, and I think that's the important thing. That was the main goal of this picnic, and I absolutely think it was achieved, and it can be achieved in any picnic, anywhere, if those are the things that you do while you're preparing for your picnic. I hope that you enjoyed this video and got inspired to have a fun little picnic with the little people in your life. If you have done a mother-daughter picnic or something similar, even if you have little boys, I would love to hear any tips or tricks that you have. If you want to just leave a comment down below so that everybody can see it, so that we can just learn and gain more information from everybody, that would be wonderful. And also, if you're new to my channel, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button. Well, I'll see you next time. Bye.